Welcome to All About St. Paul, where we feature videos about city services, programs, entertainment, and more.
He's Nick Nelson from the city's video production team.
And she's Liz Wagner from the city's Parks and Recreation Department.
Coming up on this week's show,
a popular library gets some sprucing up.
How to handle what fall leaves behind.
So why do they call it Frogtown anyway?
The Super Bowl brings benefits to its host.
And Como brings you the beauty of autumn.
We'll have all of those stories and a lot more on All About St. Paul. We're coming to you today from the Rondo branch of the St. Paul Public Library. The Rondo Library is the busiest library in the city, and at 11 years old, it was beginning to show some wear and tear. The branch closed in June for a $500,000 interior remodel. Let's find out what's new and improved here at Rondo Library.
Well, now I'm here with Rebecca Ryan, and she is the branch director here at Rondo. Rebecca, talk to us about some of the improvements in this area and the ones next to us and how that fits into your programming.
Well, Nick, we have made quite a few improvements here at Rondo Library. Right now we're in the teen area, which is not a space that we previously had in the library. We are upping our teen programming because now we have a room where the teens can come and hang out. Some of our programs include Createch. Teens can hang out and mess around and geek out with technology. We have a girls' computational thinking club on Saturdays that we're really excited about. And we have better space for teens to hang out, to study, and to have their own bank of computers. So they're not bothering adults and they're able to be a little louder than they would in other parts of the library. Other improvements are we've switched the children's area so that it's closer to the entrance. So it's easier for families to come in and out with their big stack of books, which we love to see. And we'll be able to do our story times just out in the children's area, bringing more people together and exposing more people to books and materials. We also changed our homework center so that there's more flexible space and there's a little bigger space for when the room gets too crowded.
Well, it looks great. We are going to find out more about the Rondo Library remodel a bit later in the show.
More than just books, libraries are important pillars of the community. Another valuable social organization, the Amherst H. Wilder Foundation, is located directly behind the Rondo Library. Up next, we'll hear from May Cow Hang about the role libraries played in her childhood.
My name is Mai Kao Hang, and I grew up in St. Paul, moved to St. Paul in like 1978, and I was one of the first Hmong refugee kids actually to come to the cities. I must have been about, 9 or 10. I lived at McDonough Homes. And it was public housing. We had just moved to St. Paul from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I think the bookmobile came on Tuesdays. And my sisters and I would literally read our little books, wait all week, and then the bookmobile was entertainment for us. Because not only would we get on the bookmobile and get to check out new books and touch everything. There was just something very, just wonderful about being able to have a book in our hands and then talking to the librarian or volunteer or whoever it was that was staffing the bookmobile at the time. There was always some encouraging word or some social interaction, and that's where we got our kind of intellectual and socializing needs met. I was not always a great student. I had a lot of social and emotional issues, having survived living in a refugee camp and fleeing from Laos. And, there must have been something about being in an environment where I felt safe or nurtured that helped promote learning for me, which, is an equally important part of what our libraries do for kids. It's a safe and caring environment. So today I'm the president and CEO of the Wilder Foundation. We're an organization that's dedicated to improving lives in the greater St. Paul area and beyond. For as long as the Wilder Foundation, which is 110 years, been in the city of St. Paul, we have been partners with the city and with the library system. And the reason why is because we're working towards similar goals in terms of providing access and opportunity for literacy, for learning, for engagement to find work. I mean, we couldn't do our work without the public library system because it's a place where community gets built, where people can look for jobs and employment opportunities, where children can get connected to homework help, can check out books, can actually have some access to technology because that might not exist in their own homes. So we're constantly connecting families to the resources of the public library system. And it doesn't matter where you come from or how much you make or what the color of your skin is or whether you've been in the country 2 minutes or 20 years, it's all the same. And I just think, wow, this is so much the story of how America got built. And it's the story of how promoting access and opportunity for the people who are going to lead us into the future, giving that great opportunity to every child in the state of Minnesota or, here in the city of St. Paul. I just think that this is what builds a democratic society. When you think about the people in this community who are going to lead and keep our country and this city strong, it's the kids and the people every day who care about the city and who are going into those libraries right now. So that's an investment that's worth making. There are a lot of ways that we can create serendipity. And, the public libraries is one of the ways that we can do that.
Well, there's no mistaking it. Winter is on its way, but first we have to get through fall.
We've all been enjoying the beautiful leaves on the trees, but now that they're on the ground, here's a few helpful messages.
Autumn is in the air here in St. Paul, and that means it's time for St. Paul Public Works to sweep all 871 miles of city streets. This annual fall cleaning will take approximately 4 weeks to complete. We need your help. Temporary no parking signs will be posted ahead of the crews, so move your car and make room for the sweepers and avoid a ticket or tow. One more thing, it is not okay to sweep your leaves out into the street. Sweeping makes the streets look cleaner, but it also protects the environment by keeping pollutants out of the storm drains. For questions, call 266-9700 and watch for the no parking signs. And now you can type in your address at stpaul.gov/sweep to see when sweepers will be on your street. That's stpaul.gov/sweep. The colors of the autumn leaves are so beautiful. Until they're covering your lawn. Raking leaves, bagging leaves, and hauling leaves away is a pain. Did you know there's a better way? Using your lawnmower to mulch the leaves in your yard is easier and kinder to your grass. The mulched leaves and grass decompose quickly and act as a natural fertilizer. But that's not all. With leaf mulching, you won't get a ticket for violating the city's ordinance against raking leaves into the street. Keeping leaves and debris out of the streets also keeps it out of the storm drains, which means cleaner lakes and rivers. If you do bag your leaves or yard waste for collection, you must use a compostable bag. If you bring yard waste to one of the 4 Ramsey County yard waste sites, you can use regular plastic bags, but you must empty all bags or containers and take them home. Be good to your lawn and the environment. Try mulching. You'll be glad you did.
We're here at the Rondo Library, and we'll have more on their fabulous remodel in just a bit.
Now, the Rondo Library sits in St. Paul's Frogtown neighborhood. Now, why would they call it Frogtown? Let's find out.
St. Paul's Frogtown neighborhood has always been one of the city's secession neighborhoods, welcoming generation after generation of newcomers to the capital city and the United States. Frogtown has also been home to several generations of the same families who are proud to live here. Diversity is a word synonymous with Frogtown, not just in terms of the community's ethnic and socioeconomic makeup, but also when looking at the neighborhood's civic and service organizations, faith-based groups, schools, businesses, and industries. St. Paul's Frogtown area today is considered to be bordered by University Avenue to the south, over to Lexington Parkway, up to Minnehaha Avenue, and running to Rice Street on the east. Now considered District 7, this area was once referred to as the Thomasdale area and now contains the Mount Airy, Capitol Heights, Lower Rice Street, East Midway, and Northern Rondo neighborhoods. Frogtown began its start as St. Paulites moved northward from downtown into an area that was then wetland. In fact, it was this swampy area and its frog song serenade that gave it the name Froschberg, or Frog City, by the German Bohemians who had moved there. Much of the German, Scandinavian, and Polish immigrants found employment on the St. Paul and Pacific Railroad, which runs just north of Frogtown. Several of the oldest of the Jackson Street rail shops can be seen on Sherburne, Charles, and Como, east of Rice Street. University Avenue established itself as the main route connecting St. Paul to Minneapolis before the creation of Highway 94. It therefore became the key commercial center of the neighborhood, and streetcars traveling between the two twin cities helped the businesses boom along this much-traveled route. One of the oldest commercial buildings that still exists is the Ford Building at 117 West University. Of the many churches in the area, the German Catholic Church of St. Agnes is one of the most notable architectural landmarks in Frogtown. Its Baroque-style spire has been a neighborhood icon since 1912. In time, the building of Highway 94 replaced University as the main route between the Twin Cities and led to the destruction of the predominantly African-American Rondo neighborhood in the 1960s. Much of this community would head north to reestablish itself in Frogtown. Later, other immigrant groups such as the Hmong, Vietnamese, Somali, and Latinos would create much of the character of the University Avenue area. Halal meat markets and pho noodle restaurants offer a variety of culinary experiences. Other important features of Frogtown include the Rondo Library and Community Center, the number 18 fire station, and the Hmong American Farmers Market at Unidale. While the construction of the light rail Metro Transit Green Line had some adverse impact to the flow through the area, its completion in 2014 will undoubtedly return the University route through Frogtown as one of the liveliest, well-traveled, and booming commercial districts in the Twin Cities, an historic echo of the flourishing days of long ago.
We're back again with Rebecca, the director here at Rondo Library. Rebecca, tell us what's new on this side of the library.
Well, Liz, we're here in our expanded Homework Help Center, where we are also hosting our popular open labs during the day where people can come and get homework help and computer help of all sorts. For adults at Rondo Library, we have also added a quiet area that's enclosed and separated out the computers so that adults can have a quieter bank of computers when children and teens are using the other computers. Other things that we've done that we're really excited about, we've lowered the shelves so you can see across the library, but we have refreshed our collection of materials so people can find things that they're especially interested in. One thing that we're particularly excited about is that we're now lending vinyl LPs. So if you're into records, come and check it out at Rondo Library. Also in the corner we have our Small Business Resource Center, which we have had the entire time Rondo has been open, but we have refreshed that collection and we've added a quiet area so people can study. And in November we have a particularly great host of programs for entrepreneurs and small business owners with our partnership with the Neighborhood Development Center, with the HERO certification workshops. SCORE mentors come once a month at the library, and we're offering a host of computer classes for small business owners in November as well. And please come and join us for our grand reopening celebration on Saturday, November 18th. The doors will open at 1 p.m. for the big reveal.
That sounds really fun. Congratulations on all the upgrades here at Rondo. For information on all St. Paul public libraries, including hours and locations, go to sppl.org.
Well, as you know, the Twin Cities are hosting a little event called the Super Bowl in just a few short months. Now, while the game is happening over in M-Town, excitement and economic benefit are spilling over onto this side of the river. The NFL Super Bowl Host Committee is funding construction of the state's first Sepak Takraw courts at Marydale Park and Duluth and Case Rec Center. The Super Bowl Environmental Program is also sponsoring several urban forestry projects, including one at Como Park Zoo and Conservatory.
Como Park Zoo and Conservatory serves 2 million visitors each year, and our mission is to inspire the public to value the presence of living things in our lives. We could not do this without great partners like the Super Bowl Environmental Program and our nonprofit partner Como Friends. The Super Bowl Environmental Program is part of NFL's Sustainable Platform, carried out in partnerships with the Minnesota Super Bowl Host Committee. The program aims to reduce the environmental impact of Super Bowl events and leave a legacy in the host communities. What better place to leave a legacy than at Minnesota's Jewel of Horticulture at the Marjorie McNeely Conservatory in Como Regional Park. With us today are volunteers from the Verizon's Green Team who have already been out for a few hours with Tina Dombrowski, Como's horticulture manager, digging holes and prepping our site. We also have some great helpers around us. These students are from the St. Paul Music Academy. They are second graders from Miss Maria Lazowski's class, and they're going to be taking part of our Como residency program. They've been here for the entire week learning about the plants and the animals and doing all their classwork with our professional education staff.
We're going to stay with Como to end our show today.
Now, Como's Marjorie McNeely Conservatory is currently displaying their beautiful fall flower show. You have to head over and see it in person, but here is a sneak preview.
Well, that concludes another episode of All About St. Paul.
As usual, you can find all of the city's videos at our YouTube site at youtube.com/stpaulgov.
See you next time.
Thank you.